really not interested in anyone else. And that is D. And now it's not pronounced with the N. The early missionaries, when they were writing down Xhosa in the 1800s, wrote D-I. You can look at those early texts because that's actually how you pronounce it. So on your pieces of paper, if you've all got those pieces of paper, you can just put a bracket around the N because you're saying D. Okay, so it's a nasalized, but it's D. Then C for we. Can you say that? C. U. Okay, that's a low tone U because Xhosa is a tonal language. Like most African languages, it does have tone and that does affect the meaning. So, for example, you could be saying something like, I would like a pumpkin, and what you're actually saying is, I would like your thigh. It's happened to me. I asked somebody who thought that I was better to the other side or whatever, that I wanted his thigh. But it was fine, we got through that. And that's what happens when you learn your language. You do make horrific mistakes, but you just move on and you have a laugh. You, plural, is me. So say me. Okay? And he or she is who with a high tone. And you're going to make mistakes there with a low tone and a high tone. I wouldn't get worried about that. Mother tongue speakers of Xhosa say, my father, she is sick. You can see why. Because he or she is who with a high tone. We're going to say, my father, you are sick. So we're going to make those same mistakes. And that's just something good to know. It's just good knowledge to have. And then they is ba. And that is it. Can you say ba? And it's implosive, meaning the air is not ba with a BH, but ma. Ma. Okay, so that sound is sucked in. And that will not be for people. That ba will not, it's only for people. It will not be for non-personal things, sorry. It's for all people, that ba, not non-personal things. The only non-personal type of thing that will use a ba are matches or machisi. They go ba. And I think it's because matches have that spark of life. I don't know, that was my theory. I still have to have a proof. But most people, in fact, all people have ba, unless they fall into another house. And just to let you know that ready is a Xhosa word, it's in the Great Dictionary of Xhosa, but the real Xhosa word is lungile. So I'm not teaching you stuff that isn't in the dictionary. Some of it isn't yet. We're just writing on papers and it's going to get there. So you're going to, can you look at your exercise sheet? And can you please do the first exercise for me? After 5 minutes, let's see how much you can translate. And in fact, I'm just going to give you a few seconds. Are you ready to do it? Yeah. So the first one was, I'm ready. Can anyone tell me what that is? Dear ready. Now, apparently people went after the last lecture and said things like, I can say die headache, die whatever, and you can't. Ready is an adjective, and you do have a problem. You do have a problem with people not knowing what an adjective is in English. Now we did outcomes based, right? We did outcomes, but there are adjectives. So that's an adjective. I'm sure that you know what an adjective is. Not having done out-based education. So you use this formula with adjectives and with verbs. So it's a huge chunk of Xhosa that you can now, that I'm going to teach you how to do. So you said "Ndi ready." Are you ready? Or ready? Or near ready, depending on the plural. They are ready? And can you see there's no word for are? There's no word for are. There's no copula there. Are they ready? Now, when you ask a question in Xhosa, you don't have to worry. You just state it, but switch your voice up a little bit. So instead of saying ba ready, apart from ba ready, you can say ba ready. Can you try that? So being sort of middle class South Africans, we don't tend to go out like Australians do. When I say yeah, I'm from Australia, and you think yeah, what's the question? We don't do that, but down in the store. So you've got to go ba ready. Right. And then if you are lost and people still don't get that you're asking a question, you put an NA at the end. Just an NA. Now. Ba ready now. And then people know, oh, so it's a question. She is ready. Excellent. We're ready. High tone. Are we ready? all these are on the summer school website, so they'll be there if you want to just correct yourselves. But I think with the collective intelligence that is sitting over here at the moment, this is a little easy. So we'll go on to the next word that I'm teaching you, which is right. And I'm teaching it to you because I've just done loads of transcriptions from Xhosa into English. I listen to interviews and I transcribe. And this word comes up so, it has got a very high occurrence in Xhosa. So I thought I'd teach it to you. The Xhosa word kanekile doesn't have all the meaning that right has. Kanekile means more like correct. So can you try, Zama, to quickly just for the next 2 seconds, see if you can do it? So right means all right, okay, correct, well, feeling okay, on the project, on the same page, other cliches that I could think of. So what did you get for are you alright? Alright. And you blur the last vowel. So that right, you're going to just blur it. You're not going to say alrighty. Although some Xhosa speakers do speak like that. Everyone has their own idiolect. But generally the last little vowel is blurred and the penultimate syllable is drawn out. So alright is going to make you sound very constant if you draw out the second last syllable. They are right. Alright. Oh, you're going to hear that one a lot now. Alright. But when we get to the negative, you're going to hear that more, and they're not right. I'm telling you. Are we okay? Yes. Say right. Okay, say right. Say ready. Let's be ready. Are you plural okay? Yeah. You're right. I'm alright. Yeah. You're right. Are they okay? Alright. So there are all the answers, which I'm sure you got. Again, you can see you don't need an R, all you need is that concord and the adjective. I'm going to take a little jump to the left and we get to pronunciation. How many of you are frightened of Xhosa pronunciation? Okay. Near right. You are right to be frightened. No, you're actually not right to be frightened. They're just 3 basic clicks. Once you've mastered those, it's like saying, I don't know how to swim, I'm scared of swimming. You just learn how to swim, and then it's cool. Cool. So I haven't had any student that hasn't learned how to click. And some Xhosa speakers don't click as well as other Xhosa speakers. So just take this as something fantastic at gym that you can do with your tongue. The C click is the click you use to stack spinach from behind your top teeth. Can you try that? Perfect. So, I mean, the sound you're making now, and Xhosa speakers describe it as the sound of a clock. And I always thought that was such a beautiful description. Tick, tick of a clock. So, can you say, the beautiful Xhosa word there, switch off the radio and Xhosa, I just want to hear you. It's beautiful. And as you can see, how beautiful the word order is in Xhosa, verb, object, verb, object, order, syntax. And if it's a command, you just use the verb. So if you looked up switch off in the dictionary and you got clear, you would know that was a command. And in front of the law, that's how people spoke. They just used commands. They never learned anything else. They just tell people what to do. In fact, in those early phrase books, you can see boil the water and get out of my shadow. Really beautiful phrases like that. Think TV, can you say that? The CH is an aspirated. It has, because all clicks are using ingress airstream, so you're sucking the air in. There's a puff of air. Not as pronounced as I did it, but there definitely is a puff of air. So, already come, say that? I'm sure some of you are grandparents, and if your child has been brought up Xhosa speaking, then you can say this. Or if you're a doctor, are you ready to be? And this is a really critical phrase. I had to learn phrases like the tooth bites the bone, the diviner is divining. So I think getting ready to pee is a more useful And I went into the townships and the photographic science people were there, and they now you can see there are please like pee over here. Somebody was peeing straight through the shop window. Yeah. So can you say that last one? Yeah. Right. The X click, the tongue touches the side teeth. So whenever people used to say to me when I'm learning computers, just right click on you actually have to touch the side teeth like getting your voice to move up. Okay? And here is a lovely sentence from Xhosa. You can see that we're using we're using the ya. The ya over there tells you in the present tense of the verb. Because I've been doing adjectives with you. So we can't say Lisa when nothing follows. Like we can in adjectives with the verb, we just need the ya. Because Lisa is to beg forgiveness. So, can you say, we are sorry? Cold. Perfect. Okay. Then the XH, like the CH, is aspirated. Xhosa. Okay, excellent. Can you do that sentence? And then you've got other things to do is ask people are the little things you put at the end, like my dears and chappy and things like that Xhosa do. But if you said that, people would fall down. They would fall down impressed with you. Because everybody in Cape Town knows how to say Molo Unjoni at the public, at the petrol station. And I thought maybe you could just go to the petrol station and say, I'm ready to pee. I'm ready to speak Xhosa. You make a difference. Lighten up their lives. And we are ready to slaughter would be an interesting one to haul out at the party. No, serious. Okay. Can you imagine? Telling somebody you wanted to be on the right side, we are ready to slaughter. Of course, if you let the age off to be, we are ready to tell. And that gets you into problems because my students tell my prof that they're ready to slaughter him when they're ready to tell him a story. The Q click is the champagne cork click, the tongue pulled off the roof of the mouth. Like, perfect. Obviously, we have a lot of bubbly drinkers over here. It's like the sound of a champagne cork. Say Yakonda. Yakonda, yes, Yakonda, I understand. I recently took my students to Xhosa Hook for the very reason that the name of Xhosa Hook in Xhosa is Kobo Kobo. And everyone said, we go, no more, I'm going to Kobo Kobo. So I had to live in a hut and things over there. It's traumatic for them. Nyakonda, can you try that? And can anybody tell me why is there a yak there? Good, see, excellent, because it's a verb. If it was an adjective, you wouldn't need that yak. The QH is aspirated, so somebody has drunk a little bit too much at your party, and you politely want to ask them, are they ready to drive? Are they okay to drive? What are you going to say? Oh, such a good voice there. It's brilliant. All right, Kuba, everybody. All right, Kuba, everybody. Right, well, I'm jacked with quite old ropes. So, can we hear from this side? This side's doing very well. Can you try? All right. Beautiful. Are they okay to drive? And you can see the infinitive in Xhosa. The infinitive, uku. To do anything is uku. It will always be uku. It will never be anything else. My students normally hook onto things. Will it always be uku? Always. We want certainty when we're learning a language. The RH consonant, it's like for the Afrikaans gaan. If you don't speak Afrikaans, it's like the Welsh, like loch, that sound. Can you try that in the middle? The doctor says, I'm okay. So never takes a ya, so now you can feel insecure. It doesn't take ya, and it ends in an I, and it's quite a funny verb, T. But the doctor, he says, or she says, I'm okay. And the HL consonant, as for the Welsh flip, flanegi. So say hlalapansi. Okay, excellent. So somebody is not good ready or good kuba, you would say hlalapansi. I've got ready or good kuba, I'm not ready to try. So can you pronounce this one for me? Kuba. With a bit of H, eh? Kuba. And the B is sucked in. Kuba. And it can also mean carry on. Carry on, kuba, kuba, meaning like carry on with your story. And think. You see, nobody would use the English word think in Xhosa. They won't borrow think, because think is a beautiful Xhosa word. We only borrow words that don't really have such a lekker thing in Xhosa. In Rosie, there's a word that means to get somebody repeatedly on a sore spot. And I was thinking, you wouldn't use English there, because the Rosie word won't talk, when I did Rosie. I just thought, yeah, sometimes the language has got a word that we actually need to borrow. To hit somebody on a sore spot, repeatedly on a sore spot. And there's your Kela. Excellent. And then your slaughter. Excellent. Yeah, right. And then, maybe you all know this one, eh? Kholifata. Kholifata, and you all know what kholifata means. It means somebody who shakes the branch. Khol, khola, ishtata, shake the branch, which means a troublemaker. So it's a troublemaker, somebody who causes trouble but in the nicest possible way. Somebody who's not going to sit down and just take things lying down. So he's going to do something about it. Kholifata. And then there's somebody else's name. Good. Kholani Kua. Because nobody's going to change their names for you like in the old days when people say, no, my name is Welcome, or, Beauty. They're going to use their Xhosa names now. Because those are just translations of Xhosa names. Princess, Xhosazana. Okay. I've recently been reading some papers on names in Africa, and it's fascinating. People give their dogs names to tell the neighbors to stop asking them for things. So you can shout out the dog's name in Shona, which means you always come asking me for things. And I will to the dog and goes, it's not obvious. And then neighbors are going to hear. So apparently there's a discourse on dogs' names, and you never actually have to confront your neighbors seriously. People also give people names to say what time they were born. So people are born Stoppy, sometimes they're born at a stop street. And the saddest name I came across was Flupuyise, father's his father, because actually this child came at a time when the father didn't have enough money. So you should give negative names. Then some useful Xhosa adjectives, apart from the read and write. Serious. Can you say serious? Serious. Wrong. Wrong. Sweet. Sweet. Fresh. Fresh. Lula. Lula. Nzima. Nandi. Shushu. And you see what kulula.com? It means it's easy. But if you put an H on there, it means take your clothes off. So, go to kulula.com when you're taking your clothes off, although if you travel on that airline, you're quite likely to. It's the everything and cities. Okay, some more useful pronouns, E, and that will refer to most things. Most things like your laptop, your TV, your bag, your ice cream, your peanut butter, your jam. If we're talking about any of those things, we have to say the jam, it. We can't just say the jam is sweet, we have to say the jam is sweet. The password is right. Say that? The password is right. And then Z will be for the plural of things, no people. For Z, very few people. In number 0. Say shame, shame. wrong. That's so sweet. So you get sounds so sweet. Say, you know what's wrong. Perfect. Because you've got to get that style, that sort of shame. An extremely useful pronoun is who. It's the indefinite it. It is nice. It is hot. It's not referring to anything. Just it. So you pushu. Say that. You kunandi. You wutzi. And also your you can change it. You can get a little bit low tone. You wutzi. You serious. So can you just number 3 on those sheets? We are serious? Serious. I heard that at the back there. Brilliant. Serious. Because you've got to get it just over the top with speaking Xhosa. Just a little bit. It's easy that indefinite. It's like the kulula.com one. In fact, that's the answer. Kulula. Kulula, what is this called? Kulula. It's easy to do anything. It will also concord with your infinitive. They are sweet. Sweet, sweet. I was trying to gossip about my students because they were being so pathetic. And I asked the house mother, I was like, I don't have a tea. Alright. I shaped is about sweet. Don't ask it here. They are sweet for things, and it could be sweet in taste. Sweet. Sweet. Something that you're eating. You plural are fresh, and fresh is a beautiful word. It can mean that you look young for your age. So, be fresh. My mother, aged 87, I think, came to visit me very much. Oh, fresh, yes, fresh. My mother says, hardly. You singular or serious? Like you speak good Xhosa and you say clean my radio and your radio car and things like that. Serious. I'm serious. I'm serious. Okay. And I'll put all the answers on. So can you do the questions? You're just going to do the same, hey? Except your upward tone. So it'll be serious. Is it hot? Both indefinite and referring to. So if we just say, is it hot? Is it hot there? Yes, it's hot. But if you're talking about the stove or the plate, then you have to say I. Ishushu. You see the difference? Ku for any pot. I if it's referring to like something being hot, the plate or the car is hot. Simon ishushu. Not really for like being hot as sexy. No, I think you said it. What did you say? Is it cute? Is it difficult? Indefinite? You say? Unzima. Oh, we're asking, is it difficult? Unzima? Is unzima? Unzima. Is the bride ready? Bride, ready? Is the password wrong? Wrong. Good password wrong. Is the number right? Number? Right. Is she sweet? Who's sweet? Who's sweet? It's like a person. It's like a group of people who we talk about me and my cousin friends. They're giggles. It's like, oh, sweet. Answers. There they go. And you can see the beautiful, the I being repeated. But the early missionaries talked about the euphonic nature of Xhosa, the way it repeated sounds. making a negative. I think we've just got time for that before we go. Ndi is andiko plus the adjective. So you're putting an A in the front. There. So the A always makes a negative, and then a ko.
The way you pronounce the A.
And you're quite right, actually. Because of that A, you're more likely to do that N. But not as a separate sound, andiko. No, yeah. It's a good observation. Textbooks are written like this. When people observe something, I could actually write it in my next textbook. You're more likely to pronounce the N when something exactly to see. So, andiko. So, ndiredi is unready. The negative is, and what's that? And they kind of join it, they kind of push it all together. And Xhosa speakers tend to write it conjunctively if they haven't learned how to write. A lot of Xhosa speakers now can speak their language but learned English at schools. But the correct way to write it separately and differently. So C becomes asiko. Say asiko serious. No, Shemsi said that so serious. We are not serious. Ani, chimano, I'm ready. Say I'm ready. I'm ready. That's right. Are you not ready? Ba becomes abako. So say, this is what my house mother said about two of her students who refused to go to the toilet, which is a little bit far away. Shame. Alright. Alright, so not okay. Alright. And if people are alright, it means they don't know what you're talking about, it can mean they're not well, they're not nice people, they have a lot of different meanings. And akolula, say that? It's not easy. Serious. So can you change it to the negative? Or did you need to go back there? Just remember it's a plus the concord plus ko plus your adjective. Punandi. Okay, so let's do this one together. You've got your ku. What do you put in front of your ku? A. And what do you put after the ku? Just a ko. Not the ndi, just a ko. Okay. So you put your A over here and your KH over there, and it's going to be akuko nandi. So you're working with that KH, I mean that KU. You're working with that KU. Like ba. Okay, good. Aba, ko. Abako, fresh. They are not fresh. Abako, fresh. D right. Then you need to get the A right and D core right. I'm not okay. Critical when you've got your oral coming up and all of that. No, I'm alright. Okay? See ready? We are not ready? You sound so good. You sound so Xhosa. In fact, when you use English, you sound more Xhosa. I said already. Kunzina. Aku ko nzima. Aku ko nzima. You don't have 3 years of Xhosa in music for permanence. So it's very impressive. Is it sweet? Sweet. Sweet salad. Is it right? Near wrong. You are wrong. You are not wrong. So there are your answers. As you can see, I like to use the colours. But really, using colours when you learn a language is a brilliant way. It's kind of, you always think, oh, A is always blue. You've got to be serious. You're serious about it. I feel like skipping the screen, but because it's the one part that you go, oh no, I'm going to read you, sorry. au. So it makes sense. It's not like we're putting something nonsensical there. So alright, you're right, I will go right. I will go right. And U for he and she though is nonsensical. It's aka. Which one of my students said it's AKA, otherwise known as. Another student said it's kakron to remember, whatever. You take it, that one's probably not made in a textbook. But aka is always he or she not in a negative. Whether it's with a verb, whether it's an adjective, in the present tense, perfect tense, it's aka. So you've got to know it. And E becomes IE, because if you put IE, it becomes IE. IE got ready. Say IE got ready, nice? IE got ready. It's not ready. So you would spend some time on these vowel commencing ones and freak out of it, but then you would learn them. So, we have, would you like to do these, or would you like to go to the future tense? Future tense. Alright, so we're going to the future tense. Those you can do at home and look at the answers on the Ujim, Shem Akakovite. Is that okay? And I just want to show you, to get your confidence back in the language, just the screen and then we'll call it a day. Zoba is future. So, die right, die Zoba right. And that is constant. It doesn't matter wherever. Talking about an adjective, then you're going to use Zoba. Ushushu, Zoba shushu, say Zoba shushu. So the zo and the ba together give you the future. Unzima. Uzwanzima. Your tail Swanzima. Just that people speak so fast. You see, that is the problem. You just wish you could like slow them down. Like when I do transcriptions, I can slow them down a little bit. But you can't. So you just think, there was Nzima somewhere there. But does that not look very nice and regular? So change it to the future. Et in Nandi. So what you're going to do is you're going to put Zoba after E. Et is Zoba Nandi. The T will be nice. So if you leave T by itself, that's just a noun. And then the Zoba after the E. Jim, alright, shame that you're going to say he will be okay after some bypass or anything. Good Jim. Who's right? Perfect. Who's right? When I'm already. Who's ready? Well, at 4 o'clock, I don't think who's ready. See, serious. We will be serious. So just put the Zoba after the C. Zoba serious. Pas fresh, they will be fresh. No, pas fresh. And then your answers. Zoba, Zoba. Okay, I think I was a little bit ambitious. I was going into the perfect tense, past tense. But maybe I'm going to stop there. So, you want me to do it? Yeah. Do the past tense? Yeah. Okay, brilliant. You are much better than the last group. No! I spoon you. But okay. Die right, ben die right. How simple is that? You just plug ben on the front. Yeah, ben die right, how people. So I was okay. Kushushu. It was hot. Kunzima. Mekunzima. Change it to the past. Kumnanti. I mean, you couldn't get easier than this. You're just putting Ben in the front of everything. I tell my students this, I promise you, I tell my students this, and they'll put like aka or something in front. You go there. So, Bekum Nandi, see right? We were right. Hi, please say right. You were right. Ni serious. Baby serious. Kulula. Le kulula. It was easy. Di ready. I was ready. Bendi ready. Yeah, you can actually hear that. Bendi. So it's something coming before. It's a very good point. And then your answers. So, Bekulula, was it easy? Bekulula. So, Zikana, are there any, or economic books, are there any questions? Yes.
So there's kind of each other, between QH
And the Q by itself. Okay. Clicks, it's a very good question. Clicks use ingressive airstream, so you're not going to, you sucking in to get, the only things that are working is the S and your tongue. No voice, no air, and then so you should, like put a piece of paper here, feel no air when you do the click, the H-less click. When you do the CH, you should get that puff of air. The same with the Q. But that is kunzima. That is a bit kunzima because that is something that we're not used to doing. Xhosa speakers are very forgiving, and I've noticed with my students, even myself, they will work out. They work it out. Okay, she doesn't mean she's going to swim, she means she's going to drive. Sorry, she doesn't mean she's going to slaughter me, she means she's going to tell me. But if you can do that rule of thumb is that the clicks don't have any air, they don't have any voice. When you see a G plus a click, a G, then that means you're going to use your vocal cord. So you do GQ, instead of, you can see that's got no air, no voice. Has got voice and it's got a puff of air with it. But that you do on the tapes outside, I think I have got the clicks there. And any language school that you would go to, they would definitely go through the clicks. Yeah.
And actually, I'll ask you a quick question.
Yes.
You mentioned the word number, the numbering wrong.
Yes.
What about inombolo?
Inamba, inombolo, thank you very much. And inani are all borrowings in Xhosa, and you'll find that certain dialects tend to, like the Kuli dialect might use inamba or inani, inombolo, but they're all fine for Xhosa.
My second question is, you sometimes say it's obetuna.
Obetuna, I'm so glad you brought that up. I actually thought I need to, because I heard it so much in Eastern Cape.
What does that mean?
It means my dears. Obetuna. It means my dears. Hey, hey. What? We just don't have the expressions in it, but it really is my dears. Obetuna. It's a B-E-T-H-U.